Welcome to Strata Foto 3D CX2. In this tutorial, I'll give you an overview of Foto 3D and show you around the interface. I'm using a screen capture utility that highlights my mouse clicks in red. This is not part of our software. Now, Foto 3D allows you to generate a fully textured 3D model from photographs taken with a standard digital camera. It's ideal for objects that would be difficult to model and texture in a 3D application. This includes objects that are organic and have irregular form and coloring, such as handmade objects, fabric, and so forth. So let's go ahead and look at the software. When you first open Foto 3D, this is what you'll see. This is the welcome dialog. I'll move that out of the way. So you can see that this is a pretty standard interface. We've got menus up here at the top and some shortcuts here at the top of the window, and we've got some tools over here on the left. Now you'll notice that in the middle there are three modes. These open three different windows, and these windows are used for different purposes. So I'll pull the welcome dialog back and I'll open up the completed example project. This project is a small porcelain doll or figurine. It's hand painted and it would be very difficult to model. So you can see that the photos have loaded up here at the top. They come in as thumbnails, and you can click and drag on them or double click on them to bring a particular image down into the main window. Now this is the model window. This is where your geometry will appear after it has been generated, and also the fully textured 3D model that you can see now. And as you can see, there are some view and move tools up at the top. You can rotate the model around and look at it from different angles. There are some display options over here. For example, this is the wireframe mode or display method, and you can check your geometry with that display. We'll go back to the textured display. You can see down here there are some tools, some controls for working with your geometry, for editing it, and also for texture editing. So now we'll go over and look at the mask window. We'll click here in the middle, and then I'll find the thumbnail I'm looking for, and I'll double click on that. So as you can see, this image has been masked. That's what the checkered background represents. Masking is an important part of generating a 3D object. That's how you separate the object that you wish to capture from the background. So over here on the left there are some tools for view. You can click and drag around. There are also some auto mask tools that can help you with masking. Sometimes you will need to go through the images and fine-tune the masks that you have. Down here at the bottom are the paint mask and unpaint mask tools, and then there are some selection tools. So for example, I have selected the round brush, and the diameter of the brush is 20. Move that up a little, and if I click and drag in the window, you can see that I am unpainting the mask or removing the mask. There are times when you'll need to do that on the object itself. So let me go ahead and undo that. So the last window we're going to look at is the Edit Markers window. I'll go ahead and drag the same image down into the window. Now as you can see, this model was photographed using a calibration mat. That is the most efficient way to capture a 3D object in our product, but it is not the only way. If you don't or can't use a mat, you can use this Edit Markers window to mark key features on your object. and the markers would serve the same purpose as the calibration mat does, which is to give the software the information that it needs to generate the geometry and the texture. And that process is covered in a separate tutorial. On our website you'll also find tutorials on the photo shoot, setting up your photo shoot, and several other subjects that you might want to check out. So that's all for this tutorial. I've given you an overview of the product and shown you around the interface. And thank you for joining me.